I'm now porn adjacent. I run a tabletop game stream regularly with some porn stars, which you can check out with suitable precautions in place at tabletopless.org. And just know that I put as much effort into this campaign as I would any other tits or no tits.
To boost the British economy, I'd tax all foreigners living abroad.
Hello lovelies, another non-glamorous low-end video today without any special bells and whistles. It was tax day, and because I'm terribly organised, I actually did my taxes today. I made just under minimum wage for the UK. Yeah, go me. Yeah, the life of a starving game designer. And that's with disability benefits and with 2 COVID relief payments. So if you're looking to make a lot of money in gaming, you're not really going to get there. And keep in mind that I have side hustles as well. So gaming isn't the only string to my bow. I've got others. But yeah, with everything combined, I made about very nearly UK minimum wage for the year. When you are an independent game publisher, taxes are a bit of an odd thing to work around. If you incorporate, which isn't particularly likely, but if you're a sole designer and you're making stuff by yourself, then you're likely to be registered as what here in the UK we call a sole trader. I don't know what it is in the US. But that basically means that you and your company are indistinguishable. You don't pay VAT, you don't get to recover VAT. It's the simplest way of setting up a business in the UK, if you're just like a cottage industry like most game designers are going to be. But that means you have to file as self-employment, which isn't easy anyway if you're a contractor or you work under other people, freelance. It's tricky anyway. And with the gig economy, wherein you're likely to be doing half a dozen things like I am, it gets rather hard to keep track of, unfortunately. There's also a bunch of questions which are kind of open if you're working in a creative field. What counts as materials? What counts as training? What counts as research? What counts as equipment? Computer, obviously. Printer, obviously. Those sorts of things. Yeah, but if you take your car to a convention to sell stuff, but also to attend the convention, is that a business trip and a business expense, or is it drawing from the business's money to do something for yourself? Gaming books. Yeah, as a designer, you want to stay abreast of what's going on in the gaming field, what rules innovations there are, what licenses are being developed and in what way, what sort of style and options people are going for and what they're creating, and you want to support your fellow creators. But a lot of that is unlikely to ever be played. So does adding it to your personal library count as research and training material, or does it count as something you've bought for yourself for pleasure? The line is very much blurred when you're in a creative or a fun job such as this is. So there's a lot of questions that hang over, and if you have a home office and you share the costs for keeping the place heated and lit and water and all the rest of it, what proportion of the household bills can you claim back? And charity, it doesn't seem like you can claim back if you give money through GoFundMes and things like that, which people often do. So you can't claim tax relief on that, only through official proper charities with proper reference numbers and things, which is a bit of an oversight. I think if you print stock and keep it around, and if you can or can't shift it, how do you write that down? Yeah, you're likely to be just you working for yourself. Accounts are a huge imposition, and they take time away from doing the actual work. You know, and you probably can't afford to farm it out to someone else. And a lot of the tax return software isn't set up for gig economy, self-employment, myriad part-time jobs or contract work. It's just, most of the time it just doesn't seem to be there in the software. It's not built to cope with the life of an itinerant wandering game designer. So it's tricky, and I don't have any answers, because when I've contacted the tax department, HMRC, they haven't known any better than I did. And it takes 2/3 of the conversation to get across to them what your situation is, and then they don't know, or they say we'll get back to you, and they never do. So I just have to hedge it. If I'm buying material for the gaming library primarily for research, not to play it, I can claim that back. If it's just for me, then I don't claim it back. I divide up the house by rooms and claim running costs for power and heat and so on that basis. So the study is one room out of however many it might be. This is the advice I've been given by people. I don't know how accurate it all is. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, but these are the challenges you're going to face, and it is scary and intimidating to fill out a tax return when you're such an edge case and nobody really understands what it is that you do, what your expenses are, and all the rest of it. So it's a very long-winded way of saying that there's not a lot of money in game writing, so don't pin your hopes on making a huge amount of cash. Filling in tax returns is scary, intimidating, and there's no real help. But just go through in good faith, err on the side of caution, and you'll probably be okay. And it's surprisingly satisfying, actually, to see that you owe a significant chunk of money in tax, because that must mean you're doing reasonably well. Zang.
Satana Station is an addition to Machinations of the Space Princess. It's a whole sleazy space station, full of locations, services, adventures and inspiration for your old school space opera games. Over 100 locations, a bevy of non-player characters, and more plot hooks than you can shake an Arcturo Mega Stick at. Buy it at post-mort.com, drive-through RPG, and hard copy at lulu.com.
It's time for you boys to share my last taste of the true black meat. Flesh of the giant aquatic Brazilian centipede.
I can make it happen. I can get you anything you want. You just have to talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. I'm your priest. I'm your shrink. I'm your main connection to the switchboard of souls. I'm the magic man. The Santa Claus of the subconscious. You say it. You even think it. You can have it.